with global citizenship, integrity, and compassion. In his role at Olton Organization, a startup focused on management consulting, market research, and training, Timothy has demonstrated exceptional leadership. He has organized impactful webinars and workshops covering topics ranging from time optimization to entrepreneurship. Additionally, his involvement in coaching and supporting startups like Eden Flow Creation underscores his dedication to fostering entrepreneurship and innovation. Timothy's contribution to Last Startup Factory in Casablanca, Morocco, reflects his prowess in business consultancy and project management. From coaching startups in diverse sectors to serving as a jury member for funding committees, he plays a pivotal role in nurturing entrepreneurial ventures. His involvement in business training programs and master classes further solidifies his commitment to fostering business acumen among aspiring entrepreneurs. In his previous roles at Business Global Services and other endeavors, Timothy has showcased his ability to drive business growth and lead teams effectively. From managing startup projects to organizing training sessions and publishing educational materials, his contributions have been instrumental in enhancing organizational performance and fostering entrepreneurial skills. Timothy's commitment extends beyond professional endeavors. As the former co-head of department speaker at AC Pro, a sub-Saharan professionals organization in Morocco, he actively contributed to empowerment of professionals from diverse backgrounds. Timothy's dedication to personal and professional growth is evident through his participation in courses and conferences focused on leadership, business principles, and international affairs. His commitment to lifelong learning underscores his pursuit of excellence and adaptability in an ever-evolving global landscape. Timothy's diverse experience, unwavering dedication, and passion for empowering others position him as a dynamic speaker capable of inspiring and influencing audiences over various domains. And we are glad that he has proudly accepted our invitation to come and participate in the rendezvous for this month. Thank you so much for accepting the invitation, Timothy. And now over to you.
It is a pleasure, Dr. Priya. Thank you so much. I would like first to thank all the UniAthena administration and all the committee, the crew, for this privilege and the opportunity. And I greet all the members that joined this panel, that joined this conference. So today, the topic we are talking about revolutionizing education, the path to the nation building. It's very interesting to talk about such topic. First of all, Nelson Mandela said that education is the most powerful weapon which can change the world. And Alvin Toffler was saying that the illiterate of the future will not be the one who cannot read, but they will be the people who cannot learn. So that means there's a difference between reading, that means you have the knowledge, and the difference to have the technicality of that knowledge. So today we will discuss a little bit how we can use education to change our nations. Very important. And we have three objectives. The first one, it is understanding the essence of revolutionizing education. Why do we want to scale up our educational system? What is the goal? What is the reason? Secondly, it is understanding the role of education in the nation building and understanding how to implement the new educational system in the sustainable development of our nations. So, for that reason, we have a vision. The vision is really to establish a new educational system. Can we move to the slide 3, the third slide? Yes, thank you. So the next one, the next slide. So like I was saying, the vision of this subject is to establish the new educational system based on more ingenious, direct, pragmatic learning, where each primary school to universities will have manufacturing workshops, laboratories, and control economic and legal centers. Because I think personally that we cannot afford to have a system that we just train students, train people. For instance, in most nations, the formal educational system may be 10 years to 12 years. For instance, in India, in another countries, in other region, you can have people that before they will enter higher education, it may take them like 13 to 14 years. So we cannot afford to wait to have students that will pass through all this level and after starting the educational system before we will employ them in the society and engage them and they will contribute now to the GDP of the nation. No, it's not acceptable. So that's why we are here to discuss about those little things to see how can we really rethink about our educational systems. So the next slide, we talk about the missions. The first mission is to publish illustrated and practical manuals for each level of study. I think personally that images play a key role to communicate more principles where it comes to education. So there's the manual, there's the reviewer of all the manual that we are using right now that we have to view them to see how can we improve them to adapt to matches the new challenges that we are going through in our various nations. Secondly, set up manufacturing workshops supervised by sector experts. That means those manufacturers in partnership with many organizations, and those organizations will have to send the experts, and they will not be just a manufacturing that will be just there to just trade, but really to produce tangible product on the marketplace. Third is to opening of days a week of scientific competitions, literature, art, engineering, creation of article of at the level of each region for territorial development. So we have to have a strategy, territorial development strategy that can depend of what the policy, each policy would like really install in his region, they will set up those manufacturing accordingly. Fourth one is to create a formal system of partnership, sponsoring, investment with organizations that can help new project holders, those who want to enter into the entrepreneur system. So very important. And the fifth one is build and raise up. The audio is not good. Is it good?
Timothy, we are facing there's some crackling noise from your end that's coming in.
Okay. Is it good now?
Yes. It's much better now. It's much better now.
Okay. So it's to build and raise up a new generation of leaders, entrepreneurs. So very important. We have those 5 major area key note that we will talk about. Is still cracking? Is it good now?
It's perfect. It's perfect, Timothy.
Yes.
Continue.
Okay. So the first one, we say, why do we need to revolutionize education? First of all, we all know that all development becomes possible through education. So can we move to the next slide? Yes, so why do we need to revolutionize education? Next one, yes, move on. So all development becomes possible through education. So when we talk about this, we have to know that the solution that we have today become a challenges of tomorrow. So that means that the past solution also become today a great challenges that we have in different area, in different system. They cannot meet any longer the current development and the needs of our country. So we need to really improve that educational systems. That's why we need to revolutionize every day our education. And today, when we have the arrival of many technological tools and program like AI, like many of them, we have to adapt our system, our educational system, to really bring out the best solution ever that will help each zone, or let me say every ladder or level of the society to matches that development or that sustainability that we want to build. So hence, they need to design a new educational system capable of integrating everyone into the economic contribution to the GDP in each nation. So that is very accurate. And that's why we say, why revolutionize education? We know that, first of all, education is at the forefront of societal progress. Education is at the forefront of societal progress. So we have the course of technological revolution that is set to transform the way we learn forever. So artificial intelligence, the chatbot are changing the landscape of education, and it's important to understand the impact they are having on students and teachers alike. So very important to know that today students have access to a wealth of information at their fingertips, and the way that they learn is being transformed by new technologies. So from online courses through e-books, digital textbook, virtual classroom to personalized learning, technology is having a profound impact on education. Both students and educators are now finding new ways to integrate technology into their daily routine. So for this one, that's what led us to the second objective, understanding the role of education in the nation building. Why do we have to know what is the role of education in the nation building? Can we move to the slide number, no, the next one, the next. Yes. So we are in the role of education in nations building. So first of all, we have to know that education is considered as a cornerstone of progress and means to foster a cohesive and unified society. So education is the most powerful instrument and weapon that can change a desert into a city, a neuron person into a learner and intellectual one, and a poor nation into a clean and developed nation. This is why education plays a central and pivotal role in economic, territorial, social, political development in all aspects of life, and which contribute to sustainable development in each country. For instance, when we see a tree, what does we look like? So for a tree, we can have a paper that we are looking at. We can have a fruit. We can have we can have a chair, a table from a tree. But it's very easy to just say we can have a paper. The question, what is really the transformation process? How can we move from a tree to a paper? How can we move from what we are looking at to really that result? So it's like Alvin Toffler, what he say, you can read, you can have a knowledge, you can have that illumination about the process of a thing, but what is the technicality? How to set up that things in the real way? Because why do we bring all this topic? Because today we notice that in our society, we will find out that what we are learning at school is different than what really is happening in the business arena. It's very not, I think that that is quite not right to really continue to do such system, to really progress in such systems, because it's like you just deprive a such percentage of the society to be waiting for just tomorrow before you will use them. And we have to know that the most important thing is that every level of the society has to contribute to that development that we are building right now and right away. So the next one, the first one is the promotion. So the role of the education in the nation building. The first, number one, is promotion of national identity. Can we move on, please? The slide. Yes, the next one. The next. So we have the promotion of national identity. So here, educational helps instill a sense of national pride and identity by teaching students about the country's history, culture, tradition, and value. Very important, because we are talking about a nation's building. It's very important for people to know their history, to know their roots, to know really where they come from, to know how they can really promote the culture, the value. That is very important and keynote point. The second one is unity and social cohesion. So education brings that kind of aspect. So through education, individuals from diverse background have the opportunity to interact and learn together. So they can have that kind of brassage, they can have that kind of unity, communion, they can have that kind of working together is very key and very essential. So the third one is the civic education and demographic value. So here, this provides for each individual the right of vote, the right to participate in every inclusive decision of the nations. So that is a through education that we have this kind of improvement in the development of nations. So the fourth one is the economic development. So a well-educated population contribute to a more productive and innovative economy. Very important, because the more we are enlightened, more we know how to converge many raw material we have around us into the final product. For instance, when you look at a sand, what do you see? What do you see from a sand? For instance, we can have a glasses, we can have a metal, we can have a chemical product, we can have a lot of things from the sun, just from the sun. Now, some may neglect the value of the sun, but another person we may see an opportunity to converge something neglectable to a economic force, an economic point of generating many profits. So why am I talking like that? Because when you look at things like this, it may be easy to have a light, it may be easy to know how you can do it, but when you know the technicality, this become more important. This become more vital. It become more credible. And that's why we say economic development, the role of education also is participating in that economic development, because more we are enlightened, more we can converge a lot of things around us into the final product that can generate that kind of sustainability in our development. So the fifth one is the reduction of poverty in inequality. So education is a powerful tool in breaking the cycle of poverty. That is certain, because more you are enlightened, more you know how to grab many opportunities around you. Very important. Somebody say that the difference between the rich and the poor is what the rich know that the poor do not know, because all of them have 24 hours as investment time every day. but it's what they do with the time that make the difference in each day. So it's empower individual with the means to improve the social economic status and access better opportunity. So very important. Number 6 is the conflict resolution and peace building. So here, education resolve many conflicts and promote peace. Peace, encourage dialogue, tolerance, understanding. So how can we break from every siege of racism, siege of intolerance, of violence? So more we are civilized, more also we bring a lot of solution to accept others' view, to accept the differences, and to bring more beauty in our differences. That is very important. So number 7 is the human capital development. So exactly that we know that education help invest when we invest in human being, we have automatically that development in our nations. More we invest in people, more we generate a sound and developed nations around the world. So number 8 is innovation in technology. So we have education foster creativity and critical thinking, so which are essential for technological advancement and innovation, contributing to a nation overall progress. Very important, because where we have education help us. For instance, we are right now in the AI. We are using AI for many things, the chatbot, the robotics, all of these, they are now the vogue, they are now in the trend that we are using. But this come through innovation, through creativity. Today now we have the drones, we have different kind of drones that are helping us in many different area, whether in real estate, in transport and logistics, whether in photography, in various area, we have them. So all these help us to really know how can we really develop ourselves, how can we really improve in our development, how can we really improve our system of sustainability. Can you imagine, let us say that we bring somebody that live in the year 90, okay? Let me say year 119. When you bring that person to this day, he may say that the world is now magical, because is the development, he may not understand, he may understood what is going on, because we improve so fast, and for him, he may say that it's like a magic. But that is our time. This is our current moment. And in the nearest future, there will be another system of development. There will be another system put, established, or set up that may look like our today, may look like very obsolete. So very important to know that that innovation will come up with really the contribution of that innovation and technology. So Nidine, we have the health and the well-being. So education is linked to improve health outcome, as it is raise awareness of health issue and promote healthier lifestyle and practices. For instance, when you are educated, you can know what to eat and what you don't supposed to eat. So you can know really which kind of fruit can make you to have this kind of problem, or make you to really shaping your body. So you can have all this enlightenment where you are educated. But whereas someone else may just be eating anyhow, you may know which quantity of cholesterol or which quantity of calories of you can have in each product. So all this is through enlightenment and this helps you. The 10th one is the environmental consciousness. So education can promote environmental awareness and sustainable practices contributing to the nation's effort in addressing environmental challenges. So very important to know that when you are educated, you are responsible socially. You have that society responsibility that you bring also on board. Very important. And you adopt it as a value, personal value for yourself. So the 11 is a social mobility. So education provides opportunity for social mobility. Like we know, the transportation, we have a lot of things today, the tramway, many transportation that we are innovating on daily basis. We have that social, not just mobility, for instance, to connect yourself. You can connect yourself everywhere. So it's through that education that we have that kind of enlightenment to come to that kind of result. So the 12 is the excellent and simple. That means education helps you to really settle or implement something fast, very simple, in an excellent way, in the most big way. That means if you compare a uh, brick seller or a brick maker with somebody who is educated, who is doing that same brick, you will find out that the process of acceleration between both of them will not be the same, because the learner will have another enlightenment to do the simple work, but with very accurate, the more fast way, and also the more excellent and innovative way. So that is why the education play a key role in nation building. Now let us go to the third phase of the objective: how to implement the new educational system in a sustainable development of our nation. This is the far point of our webinar today, because this is where we will really give the recommendation that we have on board. So the first thing to know is that educational system help us to really learn something, to really improve ourselves, to really develop ourselves in every area, in every system. That is very good. For instance, we start normally school in a normal way from 7 to 12 and to from 2, when I say 12, I'm saying 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. and from 2 p.m. to normally with some region 6 p.m. Okay. For me personally, I think that establish an educational system where school children and students will have lesson time in class and other learning time in workshop every day is now very essential. We cannot just continue to give them a theoretical lesson, a theoretical background of what is going on. For instance, I told you that from a tree, we can know that we can have a paper. Yes, they know it. Okay, well done. So how can we have that paper? How can we immediately help them to contribute to the GDP in our nations? How can we really help them to really find themselves more valuable in the system that we are building today? So very important. For me, I think that this is the conjunction, or let me say, this is the most key point that we help every government to have that autonomy, that have that system, that will help them to have the sustainability in the development. For instance, if we take food security, the food security will not just, and like you know, for instance, right now, many countries are going through a lot about what is going on food security. They are lacking food, they are lacking many things. So how can we really solve that problem, for instance? we cannot just depend on just a factual or a little part of the society to arrange that kind of problem. We have to really see how can we integrate each part of the society to contribute in that kind of food improvement, food stocking, uh, and that can help us to enhance that kind of food security in our nations. So, like I say, is to set up in each school, each university, what we call the manufacturer, the factory, mini factory, mini way that every morning the student may have class and every evening the student will be on workshop. So, and there will be in that workshop, it will be supervised by experts of the sector. Now, that workshop, it may not be the reproduction in each region. For instance, in this region, they may say, okay, let us set up a factory to manufacture drones. In other region, they may say, okay, let me just set up a factory for food for every agricultural manufacturing. So agricultural product manufacturing. So when we have this kind of a separation, this will help us to really know that they are contributing to our economical system from today. So like I say, we have manufacturing of toys, machine, technological tools, robotic apps, drone, other tools essential for the sustainability development of the nations. So the next one is, if we remember the COVID-19, we have a lot of stuff. This system I brought up since the COVID-19. I say, what is the essence of life if we have to just study and be waiting to just finish the study after maybe 15 years, 18 years before to even look for a job, to settle yourself, and while the system is still improving. And you may even find out that what you learn at school is not really in real, let me say, in real, is not really befitting with what is really going on in the business arena. So for me, I think that COVID-19 has shown us how very fragile life is and how important it is to get to the essential. So it takes on average 16 or 18 years of study for a student, student to obtain their master degree in many parts of the world. So this has to change, and most graduates don't know how to sell a product or services. I'm talking from even those that graduate from very big school. They don't know how to sell a pen, how to sell the value, how to sell the idea. So how can we really now train every people in the society to know how to really be ready from today? So it's to train people to be ready, not to train them to wait for later on to be trained again in the business arena. How can we train them to be ready from today? That is really the goal. So despite the most project carry out in high school, university, students notice a difference between the classroom lesson and reality in companies. That must change. Yes, very important. And what's the point of having intelligent students who contribute nothing to the country's GDP? What is the value? What is the essence? Why? So for me, I think that right now we can start something. We can have a pilot project to start to train even little children to know about the legal rights, the responsibility about society. So secondly, how can we really transform many raw products into the final products, and to help them to know how can we do it in a partnership with many companies, and those companies will buy those products and we can even pay those child or children something to to motivate them, and they will feel more valuable, because I think that this will decrease, this will help all of them to have that entrepreneurship mindset, and to help them to be ready for the future and to defeat the future with audacity, with boldness. So, what is the point of having an education system out of step with the reality of the professional and business world? So, very important. It is unacceptable to wait in the future to have graduate students before recruiting them. For me, it is time to think about a new system where each layer of the society contribute to the lasting and sustained development of the nations. So, I think that this is the most important point, is to build many factories from each school, each from the primary to the university, depending on the levels and depending on what they can really achieve. But very important to not let down any layer of the company of the society for the future, before to help them to integrate them to the economic development of the nations. So this is my final word, and thank you so much everyone for your listening. Dr. Priya, your mic is for you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Timothy. And indeed, it was a very enlightening session. And you have rightly said that it's important for people to know how to sell not only product, but also their personal skill sets as well, because that is what is required in every scenario, whether you're working, whether you are starting up a business, you are an entrepreneur, or you are a person who is trying to lead a team from within. You need to know how exactly can you sell your skill sets, and that is something that I totally vouch with as well. So there are few questions that we have, Timothy. The first one being the options that you provided through your presentation. There's a question which says these kinds of education need much use of data, internet, and in most African countries internet is very expensive. So, how can we solve and pass through these challenges so that we can ensure that everyone everywhere is benefited with this new mode of education?
Okay, first of all, I think that internet right now is not really expensive anymore. Even right now, I travel back at my hometown from Morocco. So I think that I'm having internet here, and it's not like 4 years ago or 5 years ago. Things are improving, so internet is available. So, but the most important thing is I think that this kind of education need more data. Yes, that is true. It's very essential. And the secondly is to really have that kind of association with the political government to really make that system to work. That means it's not that it will be is isolated system. No, it will be really a